Hi, today I wanted to talk about some different planners that I have been using. I know a lot of my videos have seemed planner-centric lately, but that has been my struggle to find something that I really like. And I've tried a couple different ones. I just got one in the mail, and I've had a couple of Franklin Covey ones. They're pretty small. I showed those in a video. I went over the Webster's Pages one in a video pretty thoroughly. I've been using that one and the Inkwell Press Planner in the Flex here. So I got this about March, and then shortly after I got this, I wanted to try a ring-bound binder. I've always had a ring-bound system. I've always had bound systems. And I also wanted to try a smaller size. So I purchased this, and I don't think I've ever really talked about this in a video, so I wanted to go over this not super thoroughly because there are a lot of videos out there, but just to kind of go over my experience with it. And I purchased like I said, the Flex layout with the wooden cover, so it has like a white turquoise chevron design and like wood accents on the outside. So you can get them in Classic, which has the column, or Flex, which has a box that goes across. It has a nice coil system. It's really heavy duty feeling. That cover feels like a hardback book. It's showing some schmutz, shall we say, on it. It is white, and I have been using it. It has an elastic closure, which I like. Inside, the pages turn really nicely. It came with this nice little pouch, and because I watch YouTube videos, I thought, oh, I need to do that too, so I put this here, although I have never used it for anything. The paper is absolutely the star of this planner. The paper is awesome quality. It's nice, heavy duty, smooth, and it takes any kind of pen you could put to it. Really like the paper. But this planner is really large. It's heavy. It's a heavy book. I'm getting a ruler here. It's almost 8 inches across and almost 10 inches tall, and it's almost 1.25 inches thick. So, and I don't have extra things stuffed in here. It's a pretty large planner, and it's substantially heavy. So it's not something that is something you would carry around. I wouldn't carry it around. I don't even have a purse this big. It would definitely stay on the desk. A couple of the pages, and again, I won't go through this super in depth because there are lots of videos about this. There's behind this the first tab. In the tabs, let me go back. The tabs are all labeled. If I can turn this around. Tabs are all labeled with plan ahead, then you have the months, and then there's some other pages in the back that I'll show you, but they're a nice heavy laminate. They don't feel like they would come off at all. Everything about this planner feels solid, quality, and kind of heavy duty for a planner. When you turn the page, inside there is a section for goals where you can write out some of your goals and your mission statement, as well as the year 2015 calendar. There's an important date section for each month where you can write, birthdays or whatever is important to you to remember, and then you have the first part. So even though I got this planner in March, I've been using the previous months like for meal planning and various notes, just so I can feel like I'm using some of what I didn't use. So you start off the month with a notes page, and each month has a different color scheme, and it's really a beautiful design. I like the graphics that they chose, the colors they chose. And so this is January's spread. So you can see it's large. There's a large amount of space to write in each of these squares. It's nice and simple. There's a section for notes and the next month. It also is, as you can see, it's already labeled with dates. The weeks start on Sunday in the monthly calendar, and holidays are labeled American holidays. It's an American company. So really great paper, and then behind that you get what she calls a mission board, and it has different what are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 6 is a hexagon? Is that right? I think it's a hexagon. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But she has these different shapes labeled differently for whatever kind of goals you might have, so that you can set goals for the month. Then there is a page for, it says Notes and Rambling, and then you open up into the weekly layout of the Flex, and that lays across like this. These boxes are labeled Meals, Home, and Fitness for each day. Weeks start on Monday and end on Sunday, and then there's a notes section at the bottom. So one of the reasons why, a couple of the reasons why I liked this planner and I wanted to try it, was the paper quality, the fact that it had months and weeks. Months started on Sundays, weeks started on Mondays, and it's the same exact size for Saturday and Sunday squares, which I have talked about before. That's important to me because for people that work a standard shift job and you work full-time, I work full-time, I don't find that I have a lot of time in the evenings to do things. Most of the things I have to do go on the weekends. So I like having a full size instead of a half size for those weekends. So you get these for, of course, the entire month. And I will, well, this, clearly I've written on this, but then there are 2 notes pages at the end. The notes page at the end of the previous month, and then the notes page that is attached to the tab for the next month. And then you open up to the next month. So pretty color scheme, great paper, nice and heavy duty quality. When you get to the back, it ends in December. There's no like January, day or whatever. Oh, well, I lie. It ends here 12/31, and then the end of that week is January 3rd. At that point, it's over. And so there's the last notes page. Then there's a tab labeled Fun Stuff, and the first thing is a travel planner, where you can record all sorts of information. You flip that, there's a gift list section where you can list gift ideas and if you purchase them, as well as ideas for yourself. Then she has a section for movies and books, and then this last section has a tab for notes, and it's graph paper. I've used a few of these, and at the top it has, I think that you can see that it says date and subject. So there's a little place for you to label the notes. They give you probably, I don't know, I haven't counted, maybe 10-ish pages of notes, maybe not quite that. Behind that is a 2016 calendar, a pocket. It's nice quality. It feels almost plasticky. Like, I don't think it would rip out of here, but I don't know. I never really stuffed a ton of stuff in there. And so there's a pocket on the front and the back. And then there's this pouch attached to the back cover like this. It opens up, and then it has this string closure, which I watched the video, and she talked about how she wanted something that seemed a little more high-end for this area, if I remember that correctly, which it kind of does, but it's also kind of annoying to do the string, and I found I never used the string. I would just put things in the pouch. Additionally, it comes with a page marker that just, you slide in and out of those coils, and it moves around. So overall, I like this planner. I like the paper the most. I like that it feels really good, solid quality. Things I didn't like about it were the size. It was just a little bit too big, definitely too big to carry around. And of course, with that, it was very heavy. There was just something, I don't know, it just never, I never really fell in love with it. And so I wanted to try something else, and I had already spoken about how I wanted to try the ring bound system, and I also wanted to try something smaller. So I got the Webster's pages, and this is it. I've been using it. I've been putting things in it. So far, my update on that is I like it. There's definitely nothing wrong with it. Of course, as was to be expected, white is going to show a little bit of wear. That didn't bother me so much. What hasn't been working with the rings, once I found the fix for it, perfect. I like the way that it looks. A couple things I didn't like about it. The size. It's too small. It's really small. I write with really fine tip pens, which I enjoy, but you really do need a fine tip pen. I cannot use something that's a large tip in this at all. It does really well with fine tip gel pens. I like the design of, these dividers and things. I love the way that it looks. Again, just a little too small for me. I didn't like the sections that came in this planner. And I know I can just relabel them, but I kind of wanted something, I don't know. I didn't care for the sections, but I thought I'm going to try to use it the way that it was designed. And so I've basically used up all of the paper that would be considered note paper with making lists of things in the front, which was write it down. And that's fine. The paper was nice. I think that it would take a fountain pen, but it's so small you have to write with a fine tip pen. So that section's been fine. This memory keeping page, I really was trying to use it like maybe a line per day, just a quick kind of journal about my day. I've been trying to do that, but that wouldn't be something I would normally do, and it's felt more like a chore than anything. But these pages are very much designed, I think, for specific purposes, and not so much as they just didn't give you empty paper. They have things written on them in sections, sectioned off, and I just found that this isn't really something that speaks to me as far as what I would want to do in my planner. In the section list to love, I'm trying to use the page that they've given in a way that makes sense, but again, it just doesn't feel like something I would normally do. I was excited about the menu pages, but it's so tiny. It's just really not realistic for my use. And I don't write, with big letters, and everything just seems like crunched in this planner. Then there was this section for staying inspired. It just has pages of paper in it, and I haven't found a use for that. So really the only useful section of this was the calendar. And again, the calendar is really teeny tiny. Using a 0.28 tip works, but I like using different pens, and I found that I was only using one type of pen. I was trying to use the different features of the pages, and it just, I don't know, it's just not working out for me. It's all pre-populated with the dates and everything. I really appreciate undated planners, because if I don't like it, I can stop and use something else and go back to it if I want. So I've been forcing myself to use these two because they're dated, and I don't want to feel like it's a waste. But it might end up being a waste. I don't know. And I've been using them not concurrently. At times I was using them concurrently, but really I wanted to give them both a good try to see which one I liked the best. And I found that I didn't love either of them. So once you get past the months, of course, then you have the weekly pages, which are fine, but then I found that I sometimes didn't have room, and it was just, I don't know, it's too small. So there's that. And then trying to fit, some extra things back here. I don't know how realistic this would be to carry around. I don't even know if I would carry around something. I feel like it's, I don't know. I haven't loved it. So that's kind of an update on these. I recently saw, I think it was on Facebook, a Marion Smith planner. And it's an A5 size, which is kind of in between these two. It may look the same size as the Inkwell press planner, the binder itself, but the pages are smaller for sure. And it's much bigger than the Webster's pages. So I just wanted to show you this. There's I could find 2 videos on YouTube about this. One that was put out by the company, and one that was put out by a person very recently that just got it. So This is the one I'm going to move into from both of those. I might be selling the Inkwell press one. That one seems to be really desired on Facebook, and people are buying them used, and so I would rather somebody use it than, you know, it go to waste. So I just want to show you this. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to try them all, and I'm not buying any more. It's going to be one of the ones I have. The bonus of this is that it's undated. So I'll just show it to you. It's made out of vegan leather, and it has a texture to it. It feels very nice. It has some padding to it, but it also feels very sturdy. It's a really pretty color. It's like a... I couldn't tell from the video what color it was going to be. It's definitely... How would I describe this? A light turquoise that leans very green. It doesn't seem to have much blue in it at all, but it is lined with blue stitching, which is pretty. There's a little bit of gold on the side that has her company logo, and the little closure is gold, but otherwise it's plain, and it's very nice. This feels very high quality too, just like the Inkwell press. The cover feels nice. It's not super squishy like the Webster's Pages one is very squishy feeling. It has, you know, hard cover in it, but it feels squishy like it would snag on something maybe. But this is very nice. So it just snaps open. And to give you some dimensions, let's see. It's about, I told you it was A5 size, which is like almost 7 3/4 by 9.5, the binder itself. And this I haven't put anything in it. I just got this yesterday. It's about 1.5 inches tall. I don't know if I would carry this with me. This would be big to carry on a daily basis, and I was kind of looking for something to carry on a daily basis. But if I had to carry it somewhere, I don't think it's too big that I could. So you open it up, and it's called the Heart of Gold Planner, and I'm a sucker for gold, and it had gold little hearts. It's super cute. Inside it's white, and these little hearts are embossed, and they're shiny, and they're all over the back. Loved that. And I really liked the design of the pages. So the way that it came was like this. It had this in the front, and she sent some samples of date seals, and so they're little silver and gold dots that I guess you could put somewhere on the calendar. I looked on her website, and there's a ton of different, she has probably 20 or 30 different colors if you use those and you like those. So there's a large flat pocket here, and then there are 3 pockets in the front. This one is about 1 3/4 inches deep. This one is about 2 inches deep. And this top one looks like it's about 1.5 inches deep. These were just tucked right in here. Then you have gold rings. These are definitely not as gold as the gold hearts or as gold as the rings in the Webster's Pages planner. It's more of a silvery gold, but it's still gold, and it's pretty. Just like with the Webster's Pages, it has these little ends to the clip, or to the rings, and if you have a little tiny bit of a gap showing, if you just push those up, it goes away. I learned that with the Webster's Pages planner, and it works with this too. So this is the front cover. The paper is nice. It's definitely not as nice as the Inkwell press paper. It's thinner. It also feels a little slicker, a little smoother. But I liked the design of the planner, and I liked the color combinations. Every page has this floral border on this side. Some people will put washi tape on their pages and then punch them and put them in, and it looks cute, and I think she's trying to emulate that, but I didn't have to put anything on there. It came like that. So that's just the first page. Just it belongs to. And then all of the dividers are this gold foil. It feels like a hard cardstock. It's kind of flimsy. I was thinking about possibly laminating them to just make them a little more sturdy, because I think they could rip, they could tear, you know. So just to make it a little sturdier. But it's very pretty, it's shiny. So she gives you this plain one as that you could use in the front, or I guess as a dashboard where you could put little notes to yourself. The backs of the dividers are all white. The Today marker looks like this, so it's that same cardstock. So this, I would say you would definitely want to laminate. It has a little tab up at the top. Very pretty. And then all the dividers are unlabeled, and she gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which I liked. Even if I were to relabel the Webster's Pages ones, I don't think I would have enough dividers. And I'm not particularly interested in creating my own dividers. I just want something that looks nice that I'll use. And I like that they don't have a label. I can label them. So this is how she has it arranged, and everything that I'm showing you came with the planner. Behind the first tab, she has these undated months. And so if I open it up to a month spread, this is what it looks like. I like the design of this as well. It's pretty. It's not as decorated as the Webster's Pages, which I think that was too much for me, and it was had too much specific structure to the pages that were things that didn't appeal to what I wanted to do in my planner, although I'm sure they would appeal to some people. But this looks pretty to me. It's simple, it's clean, has a little bit of like a flourish there, something of interest, but really it's got enough space that you can do what you want to do in a planner. So she has, it says month at the top where you could write the month, and then this is for notes. And then the tops are empty, so if you wanted to start with Sunday or Monday or however you want to start your week, you can. And she gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. So sometimes there are those months that have, you know, 1 day here and like 1 day or 2 days down here, and you really do need a 6-week spread. So I like that she accounted for that. And they are empty, they're not lined, just boxes, and so you can write the little date at the top. And so if I want to use this for a while and then want to come back, it won't be wasted because it's undated. The paper quality is nice, don't get me wrong. I haven't tried a fountain pen in it, but and it's very nice and smooth. It's kind of like Rhodia paper, if you're familiar with that. So she gives you, I believe, a year's worth of these. And all of these undated refill pages are available on her website, and she has other designs too. Then the second section that she has, the first page says 2015, and it has a little, you know, calendar for the year, and then there's a list for important dates, and then behind that are the week spreads, and they look like this. So again, I think they're pretty, but there's not a whole lot of structure beyond what I would need, and there's not a ton of visual design happening. I guess that's the best way to say it. So at the top it just says this week, and you can fill in, you know, a date range or the week of the year. There's also a space that you could put some notes or something. Each day is just sectioned off with a colored border where you could put the date and the day. And I liked this because I could start on Monday or Sunday, and I like that every single square is the same size. Up at the top of this is blank, so you could put some other notes or things, and down here she gives you a few lines and some hearts. The lines, I guess you could make notes, or you could track things or whatever you wanted to do down here. I don't know how I will use that, but see what's going on. I don't think that there was a full year of these. There might be. Maybe it's half a year. I haven't counted. I don't remember, but there's a substantial stack, so it's probably a full year. The next section is daily pages, which I have never used, and I think she gives you like 30 of them. So if you like them or you use them, you can always get more. But I'll probably take this out because I don't feel like I would use this, but who knows? It's available to me. But I do like the design that she has. So it's just blank, and you have a large square here, a smaller one here, some a lined square here, and it says morning, afternoon, and evening. And so it's pretty simple. I like the background. The printing on the paper is really nice too. Some of the printing that I've been looking at in these various planners, the Inkwell press planner, it's very beautifully printed. The quality of the printer seems nice. So does this one. The next section just says ledger, and it's just lined columns. This one is a little bit larger, and these three are the same. So you could keep track of whatever you wanted in there, make some lists. And she gives you quite a bit of this paper, which I like. I already have some ideas of what I'd like to do with this. The next section is just blank notebook paper, which I really appreciate because in the Webster's pages there was no just plain blank paper, and that was really frustrating to me, and so I'm trying to use their paper, and I used up anything that could be close to a paper that I could write some things on, and I just didn't, that was always something missing from that Webster's pages planners. Where's the blank paper? So I like that she gives you quite a bit, and you can order it. I know that some people would say, well, you could just punch other notepads and put them in there, but I just want to have the paper that goes with it. So I really appreciate that there's blank paper in here and a substantial amount. And it, you know, when I feel it, it does feel like it will probably take fountain pen well. The next section is for pen swatches. So this might have been what sent me over the edge. She included 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of this, double-sided, and it's for you to test your pens, how they would act in this planner, or for you to just keep a little catalog of all the pens that you have. So there's lines, and then there's these black and white hearts, and she explained that you color in the white heart, you color in the black heart, and you can see what the pen ink would look like on a light paper and a dark paper, which I thought was genius. I don't know if I'll actually keep this in my planner, but I loved it. And you can buy it from her website. The next section has, it says tape swatches. She gave 1 page of this. I don't really have a whole lot of any kind of like designer tape. I've got a couple rolls that I found that I thought were fun, but this might be for some of you. You can put the brand and the name and then put a little swatch of the tape. And then she gives you 1 extra divider. In the back is a pen loop that is a good size pen loop. I think that I could fit whatever I wanted in there. Let's try this. So here's my Retro 51 Forever pen, and it fits in there no problem. There's a long pocket back here, and it measures like 7 inches, almost 7¼ inches long. And then there's a shorter pocket that measures about 2½ inches, a little more than that. This is not a pocket, this is just the stitching. And she sent some samples, so it came like this. So I had never heard of Marion Smith before I saw that post on Facebook, and I guess she does scrapbooking kinds of things, so that's probably where some of the design elements came from. So in this pouch she sent these cards, and I think these are just kind of decorative little cards. I liked these to-do lists. I couldn't find them on her website, otherwise I would have purchased them. I'm assuming that they were out of stock, or maybe I need to look elsewhere, but on one side it says to do with little check boxes. The other side it's the same, except it's lavender and blue, or a pink and blue. And she sent several of those, 1, 2, 3. And then this piece of paper, which I thought was really cute with the fountain pen on it. It has some lines on the back as well. This one says don't forget, and the back is just lined. This one had a cute little bike lined on the back. There's another decorative one. I don't know that I'll keep these in here or what I'll use these for, but I think it was so that you could jazz up your dividers if you wanted to. These also came in the back, so longer paper. This one says today, and it's got a top area for check boxes and then just a separated lined spot, and it's front and back. And this feels like it's on some pretty heavy paper. These all feel like they're the smooth paper that was used in the planner. This one has a little more tooth to it. These are a little wider, and I think you could just hole punch them and stick them right in the planner if you wanted to, if you had a 6-hole punch. This one also feels like it has a little more tooth to it. It's got a little blank area there, and obviously you could use this as like a to-do list or whatever you wanted. And then here was another one that's just lined like that. I purchased this because I knew that those little samples were coming, and I would have wanted to buy maybe one of these. I wanted to see what they were like first, but I did purchase this because it was like $1, and it will fit perfectly in this pouch. And I do like to have just a notepad in the back that I can write some things on. This is just little hearts that are the same color as the planner. So this was the planner, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's got a really nice design. There's a lot of things that I like about it. It's undated, the way that it looks, the size. We'll see how it goes. So I will definitely be testing it out, and I'll probably give you an update. I just need to find something that works for me. With something like this, I know I can find other printables online. If I like the binder, I can always find printables and things. But I did like the printables she sent, so I'll be setting this up today. I'm pretty excited about that. So I just wanted to share it with you how it looked before I did that. And thanks for watching. I know this was a long video, but you got several reviews in one, and I hope that you found them helpful. Bye.